It's you and me, no place I'd rather be. Ding dong, hello, let's make this house a home. Welcome to Spencer and Sarah's house.
Hello.
We are in a mood and that's okay. Happy Thursday.
I might cry through this. It's fine though.
Yeah, that's okay. That is okay.
Life is just particularly hard right now in many aspects.
Yeah.
And I was trying to explain it to Brew this week, like when I had my meltdown earlier. I was like, I just feel like I was in survival mode for so long, right? Like my body was just like, okay, we're gonna get through this until like something good happens, or you have like a really nice long weekend or something. And then this thing happened this week, and it was like, okay, that's the last straw. Like you need to deal with these emotions now, and maybe come out of survival mode now. We can't run on this empty anymore. And
Yeah.
I've been very grateful to have this weekend to just kind of like gather my strength.
Good.
Yeah. But yeah, it's definitely a mood.
Yeah. Definitely. I did see the Stray Kids Dominate Experience film yesterday. That was a light in the world. It was a great experience.
Was it just like a concert? Like a recording of their concert?
Yeah, it was a live concert that they did in LA. And then it was like they interviewed each of them as well. So you got like a little bit of, they didn't go through, I thought they were going to do more of a like, this is like how we started and who we are kind of thing, but it was more like, no, this is the concert and then a little side interview. But it was 2.5 hours straight of Stray Kids being injected into my veins, and normally 2.5 hours is I'm clicking like the next video and the next video and the next video, so it's nice for it to just like play and for me to just like be consumed by it. It was so good.
I'm so glad.
Yeah, I just find them artistically inspiring. I don't know, I think like there's like certain things I come across where I'm like I feel inspired to like be the best version of myself and like the best artistic version of myself, and Stray Kids are doing that for me right now. It's great.
Oh yeah, good for you.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what, like, Brew and I went on a date last night to this bar that we went to on our second date ever. And it was kind of like, that was just really nice for me. That was my light in the darkness, I guess, this week. Was just
Nice.
like, it was very nostalgic, and it was like we talked a lot about like how much has changed in almost a year and a half now. Wow, that's crazy to think about.
Wow.
Yeah, that was good. It was
Nice.
wild. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. This is all I got, guys.
And that's fine. We are doing a bring your own topic today though, so we've got that going for us.
Yeah, structure. Thank God.
I'll be going first, so I'll share my screen. I share screen, and if
I
you can close your eyes first. And let's see if this works.
Guys, while Sarah's setting this up, I gotta ask, did anybody see Marty Supreme? Drop your comments and opinions below, please. I'm not gonna say why. I just want to know.
Okay, you can open your eyes. Welcome to my talk about personas in art, which is a work in progress by me. I thought I would talk about something that's been on my mind for the past like 8 months. And I thought it'd be fun to talk about because it's art, and like it like has to do with us as actors and all that stuff. So yeah, something different.
All right.
Let's see if I can click. There we go. Art. What is art? I define art as a form of expression, whatever that means. Poetry, drawing, dancing, singing, anything. When you're taking something and using something else to express what you're feeling or whatever. Yeah, that's how I define art. Persona. What is a persona? When I Googled the definition, I was given a strategic mask of an identity in public. And then reflecting on that, I kind of turned it into, in my head, it seems more like a presentation of a specific image you're trying to portray, is how I would define a persona. Next, how the hell did we get here? Back in the summer, I was listening to a podcast by Sarah Shower called Shower Thoughts. Sarah Shower is a comedian.
Amazing title.
It's great. She's great. She's a comedian that was like, I think, known on like Vine and stuff. But she's also super interested in like everything, like all fields of science, math, art, and like she reads a lot of like research and like scientific nonfiction books and tries to like bridge the gap between all these different fields to kind of make sense of everything. And that's to show her podcast. She'll just talk about random topics on what she's learning and like what her thoughts are. So there were these 2 episodes she released last summer that were called Flow State, Method Acting, and Becoming the Person You Want to Be. I don't remember much from listening to those, but it sparked a thought in my brain, because she was talking about, the main focus was like, how do you become someone that you want to be? Is that possible? And so like the example I think she would use was like, if you're a shy person and you want to be socially confident in situations, she was just talking about this idea of like looking into personas and kind of like how to describe it. It's like kind of like faking it till you make it, or like find ways to practice doing the thing you want to do and picturing it being someone else or being like a different character, persona of yours, and doing it. And at some point, once you do it enough, it becomes more comfortable in your own body and it becomes a part of you. I think that's what it was about. But the main thing that stuck to me is like the idea of a persona and art, and it got me thinking about how like when I think about music and performing, and like how like Hayley Williams is so good at having the stage presence and stuff. I was like, oh, these performers I think are developing this persona to present on stage. And in my head, that's not something I've ever really considered or understood how people did that, which had me thinking. And so in my head, I went through a battle of authenticity versus personas. And so these are my early thoughts on authenticity. So this is prior to this podcast episode, prior to this pondering I've been doing over the last few months. So this is stuff I feel like I also like gathered while we were in college and like being in the acting world and trying to learn how to be an actor and what that means. And in my head, I was trying to also learn how to be a human and what that means. And so around authenticity, for me, I was like, I understood that people connect with authenticity, and it can be easy to catch when someone's being inauthentic. And so in my head, I go, cool, goal is authenticity. Also for me, it feels good to be authentic. And so at the time, I had defined authenticity as always being vulnerable and open in all situations and areas of life. That's kind of how I pictured what that meant. It was like just being me, with my bare ass out in the world as best as I could. Yes. And I think now, thinking about it a bit more, doing therapy, exploring art and all that stuff, I think I've kind of changed my thoughts on what authenticity actually means. And I think the first thinking is like, the way I had defined authenticity before, of like basically always having that 100% vulnerability as best as you can, that can be really costly to like your energy and like just like your well-being depending on circumstances, and it can lead to burning out if there isn't a balance found. And so I've kind of been changing my definition of authenticity, and it's more presenting your truth, whatever that is. So like, even if in my head I'm like, even if I'm not like, even if my walls are up around something, if I'm still approaching it as best as I can, there's still an authenticity there, even if my walls are up. If that makes sense.
I think so, yeah.
Great. Then, I'm trying to remember if there's anything else I wanted to say about this before I move to the next part. I think that's it, hopefully. So then, moving into personas, I've been thinking about these two things of, one, personas can help create a healthy boundary of what parts of yourself you share in a public setting. So this is like, I mean, in my head, I'm thinking about this more like as a musician and being on stage and performing, but like I also imagine like just how we're interacting day to day with people as well, and how we present ourselves. And the other one is personas can be an extension of yourself that allows you to creatively explore more sides of yourself. So I think that kind of marries that gap that I was experiencing with my older definition of authenticity. And personas are actually still you and still authentic. You're just choosing to like curate this thing for a specific purpose. And in my mind, it's for like art and artistic reasonings or expressions and stuff. Enter Stray Kids.
I see what's happening here. This is all a ruse. This is like how they get you into Scientology, right? This is you soft launching me into Stray Kids by lulling me into safety about an alternate topic and then turning it.
When I was
team chat. What's going on here?
When I was trying to think of what topic to do, I was like, what's been on my mind? What can I cover? And the only things I could think of was Stray Kids and this thought in my mind about personas. And so I was like, I can't just go through and break down every single band member. I've only just met them. So I need to... But I needed to incorporate them. Conveniently, yesterday, when I went to see the film, one of the members actually talked about this and talked about personas, which then, like, sparked the thinking in my head again. Because he was talking about when he had first joined and how, like, he put everything he had into the band and like doing everything that he was like struggling to find some type of balance. And he said it wasn't until he kind of played with like having a persona on stage that kind of gives him that energy, and like that's like a part of him that he's putting on stage, and then he can kind of like step back in like the quieter times of his life and quieter moments and like have that boundary and break from it. He said that really helped him as a performer. So that was, yeah, that's the tie-in. So, for example, in all of the music videos and all the things that they do when they're performing in concert, they're putting on a show. They're putting their whole sexy asses into all of this. And they do a really great job. They do a really, really good job. They're really intense and they're really good. But then outside of this, they're just silly guys. And both can exist.
You.
Yeah.
This is like the ultimate amalgamation of Sarah's mind. Stray Kids, Haikyuu, and Heart
Yes.
Persona.
I saw this while Googling it, and I went, I need to add this. I need to include it right now. Yeah, but both can exist. The intense performer side of them and the silly, just like everyday part of them. They both can exist, and they're both authentic. Conclusion. As artists, authenticity is important. It's also important to be healthy and have a balanced mindset and lifestyle. Having a persona that works as a boundary can help with that. You can also use personas to become an extension of yourself that may not necessarily be you 100% of the time, but is still yourself. There are so many versions of ourselves that exist within us, and we gotta explore it. That's the end.
That was great.
Thanks.
Very educational. I like the personal touch. And there was something you had, I can't remember which slide it was, where it was like, it can be a way to explore a feeling or a experience creatively in like a, in a, what's the word I'm looking for? Like constructive way.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because right now in my acting class, like I'm working on two things, but one of them is like learning how to use what's personally going on in my brain at that moment as like a as like a driving force. Like it's not the intention of the character, but it's how I'm like making it personal to me and locking in and bringing that flair of authenticity. I think it's interesting because like I've never thought of it as like a persona. It's more like but like that makes sense. Like I'm tapping into something that isn't entirely myself, but is also me.
Yeah.
And it made me think of like the Mitski thing we were talking about, how in that interview she was like, not all of these things, like these songs, the way they are, it's not like they happen to me. I think of them as characters, and I'm like exploring something I'm dealing with through these characters. Yeah, definitely. I like your theories and what you're onto here.
Thanks. Definitely. Yeah. I think so it started like in my head when I think about like performing music and stuff, and like if I ever got to like be on a big stage, I was like I wouldn't want to just present myself, I guess, in a way where I'm like, oh, I don't like, I'm thinking like the difference between like I don't know, like indie performers and artists versus like people doing like rock and roll. And like in my head I'm like, there's a certain like vibe I'd want to give as a performer that isn't me day to day. And I think, but like finding a way to play with that and make it still true to myself is an interesting concept.
Yeah, it's like what Florence and the Machine was like talking about in her album too, like her relationship to being in front of people and fame, and her relationship to the stage and whatnot. Like,
yeah,
yeah, I like that a lot. Very
Thanks.
good.
Woo.
Nice. Good job, Sarah.
Thank you. Spencer and Sarah's House can be listened to on all podcast streaming platforms as well as watched on YouTube. You can find Spencer and Sarah on Instagram and TikTok at @SASHousePod, SAS Housepod. For bonus content like our Book Corner episodes, you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/SASHousepod. Thanks for listening and supporting us. Now back to the episode.
Okay, for mine, I need you to go get your D&D dice.
Oh, I've got them right in front of me.
Perfect. Okay. As we established, I am not well. So I had this whole idea of like using okay. So like ever since I was young, I've used like reading fantasy novels or like fanfic or drawing stuff as a means of escape. And it was like, is that healthy? Right? Like where's the line between this is a healthy way of expressing yourself versus I'm using this as a way to not deal with what I'm dealing with. I had this grand plan to do something in that vein, and then everything fell apart, and instead I made a game.
Yay!
So we're just gonna do, kind of in your vein, our fantasy personas.
Yay!
We're gonna
Fun!
roll for them.
Hell yeah.
So you'll need a D4 for sure, a D6, a D12. Yes. Maybe pull out a D8. I can't remember if there's a D8 involved or not.
Okay.
But yeah. Okay, and then let me pull up my thingy here. Let's see. Da, 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 da. If I go into present mode, can I still share my screen? No, I have to do this first. Okay, hold on. I share screen. I love share screen. Share. Okay, can you see this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Cute.
Cool. So we're just gonna roll for fantasy because
Hell yeah.
life's hard right now.
Yes.
So first we're gonna pick where we live. Your four options. I'll explain them to you. You'll need a D4 for this, but the first one is: are you living in a bustling urban city? You know, in the hustle and bustle, in the heart of the town, maybe even in the castle itself. Number two, do you live within an ocean-like setting? Are you literally living on a boat? Maybe. Do you live oceanside on the cliffs? Are you living on the docks? I don't know. Where do you want to live? And then the third one is like foresty. Are you in a cottage in the woods? Are you like just camping? Number four, I was thinking mountainous, sort of Gollum in the caves sort of dealio. Or maybe you have like a really cool, like scary series of unfortunate events-esque like house dangling on the edge of a cliff. So go ahead and roll your D4.
Listeners should do this too and then tell us what you get.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Yes.
What'd you get?
I got one.
One?
Bustling City. Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Nice. I got number 2, which is ocean-esque. So let's take a moment here and like flesh out our sonas using the info we just currently have, which isn't a lot, but what do you imagine about this city? Like, what is it like? Is it like, are you in a modern world? Are you in a medieval world? Tell me about like what you think this city looks like that you're in.
I'm getting like Game of Thrones, Throne of Glass vibes. Medievally, I would think that would be that era.
Okay. Do you think you're in like the upper echelon of society, or are you kind of more of like hanging out in like the middle class sort of area? What do you think your house and like standing is like in the city?
I'm picturing, I think, let's see. I think I'm probably like lower to middle class. And I can imagine like most of my days are spent in the hustle and bustle of the city, but I'm kind of like unseen.
Okay. Ooh, all right. I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
I had number 2, so I have like an ocean-esque element to mine. I imagine sort of like if Kiki's Delivery Service was like set like way back in time, right? Like I like the sort of ocean side. It's part of the town. There's seagulls always flying around. But it also is like up onto like a sprawling hill, mountainside sort of dealio. And I imagine I live down in the bay part of the world, like right along the ocean front. That's what I'm picturing.
Hell
and
yeah.
I picture like we are gonna roll for like our job, but I picture something in like the trades, or maybe I like own my own business.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. So now we're gonna roll for what we do. You need a D8 here. This is your job.
Whoa, okay.
What'd you get?
I got a 5, a scholar.
Ooh, you're a scholar. Okay, so a scholar in a town. Is this
so
like
fun.
informing more for you? What's that bringing up for you?
Yeah, I feel like I'm like a big nerd that like runs to like the library of the town and like is trying to like study something specific or important or something.
Maybe personas.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay. I rolled a 7, so I am a magician in this oceanside town.
Nice.
Yeah. maybe like I sell little spells, or like, because I always imagined if like being, if like magic and sorcery was like an actual thing in our real world, I would want to sell like charms. Like they look like keychains, and each one is like either attract something or repel something.
Cute.
I'm gonna imagine that's what I do.
Hell yeah.
All right. All right, we're gonna roll for our familiar now. So you need a d6.
This
Your
is
companion.
awesome.
Also, I tried to keep everything in this gold color palette, but every time I tried to find an image of a raven and turn it gold, it refused. And I think there's something kind of amazing about that. So that's why the raven just looks like a
Hell yeah.
raven in this.
Love it.
All right, what'd you
Oh.
get?
I got a horse.
Oh, tell me what this is bringing up for you. Does it carry your library books?
Yeah. Yeah, I get so many books that I need a horse to like carry all of them. And maybe there's like another like school or library located on the outside of town, so I have to use the horse to travel for faster travel.
Ooh, okay. I like that. Also, quick side note, I am reading a book series right now by T. Kingfisher, and there is a horse sort of in it, not really as a character, but they mention the horse a lot. His name is Hob, and I think he's the only horse I've ever cared about
Wow.
in my life.
That's
Because the
huge.
way they describe him is really sassy. Like, I just remember this one point where they were like talking about taking a rest, and when they like went to get back on the horse, he was like, "Come on, I just want to chill." So,
That's awesome.
what would you name your horse?
Ooh. The first thing that came to my mind was Barry.
Barry?
Yeah. Maybe like after I was thinking Barry, but I wonder if it is Berry and it loves like blueberries or something.
Oh, there's something really beautiful about that.
Yeah. Maybe I found the horse eating a berry bush.
That is so cute. God, if you had to be named after your favorite food, what would it be right now?
Cheese.
Cheese?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think mine would be sushi, but I go by sush.
Ooh. Nice.
Well, okay, I got a free, so I have a snake.
Whoa.
Which, okay, I feel like fits my magician vibe.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know. I'm trying to think how I would have gotten this snake. Maybe I made a charm for myself that I wanted to, like, maybe I was feeling like particularly alone, maybe when I moved to this town to start my business of making charms, and I made one to sort of in the vibe of Legends of Lattes, like attract like community and like friendship and like minds. And maybe the first being I encountered after making it was this little snake. Maybe he like appeared in my shop all like curled up by the fireplace and was like, I'm living here now.
Cute.
And I guess I'd name him Trinket.
Oh, cute. Love that.
Okay. Now we're gonna roll for weapon. We need a D12. This is my D12.
Nice.
Ooh, okay. What'd you get?
I got 6. Unarmed / your fists.
I also got 6.
Awesome.
Oh my god. Okay. Tell me what this brings up for you, or how this informs more of your character.
I think I'm someone that's not ever looking for a fight or not expected to ever get in fights. But what I'm also picturing, the thought I had was, if our two beings were to meet, I would wonder if there's like an event in the evenings that takes place at a tavern for like boxing or something, and we just like both met at like a boxing event.
Ooh. Ooh,
That's
I
all.
like that. I like that a lot. I agree. It's canon.
Hell yeah.
For me, like if I'm making charms and like making objects imbued with magic, to me it makes sense I wouldn't use like weapons because those are my like I'm already repelling negative energy from me, right? Or like
Yeah.
things like that. But I also feel like if I'm making things that are imbued with protection, like it would protect me from anyone who would do me harm. But I like that. Maybe I went there to like sell trinkets because I was like, these people,
Yeah.
don't have weapons, but like here's a little something. That'd be cool.
Hell yeah.
Maybe I'll make you a trinket to like help attract things that'll help you with your research or something.
Hell yeah.
Sick. I would like to say for anybody who rolls like your voice, that could mean many things. I was thinking of like if you rolled magician, that could vibe with like maybe you speak spells and that's how it works, or maybe you have like some type of like I can't remember that superhero right now, but like the one where it's like your scream is like sonic. You know what I mean? That's what I was kind of thinking. Or like if you rolled like maybe you were picturing nobility, like your voice has power because you're like making the laws of the land. So that was kind of the vibe there. But take it as you will. On a frying pan made on there because I think Rapunzel was onto something.
Awesome. Hell yeah.
And that's it. But yeah, I think I was thinking about this because I love making characters on D&D Beyond. Just it's fun to me, and I think your persona thing just made me kind of realize because I was thinking a lot about like what is this accomplishing, right? Like why do I like to do this? Why is this an outlet for me?
Yeah.
And like even now when we were talking through these personas we made, like I feel like I've gleaned some insight into like what I'm going through right now. Like I'm seeking connection right now. I'm seeking things that are I want good things to come to me right now.
Yeah.
Or like repel things that aren't working for me. So I think there is sort of like there's a benefit in it all in like what we were just talking about with you. Like it kind of allows you to see something you maybe aren't facing or just didn't realize you were going through. And I think it can like fantasy and doing things like that can be really helpful for that. I think it becomes unhelpful though when you're given this insight and you choose to still do nothing about it. Then you're just like it just feels like what are you, how is it helping you? I think if it can serve you, that's a good thing.
Yeah. Definitely. Hell yeah. That was
that.
so fun. And that's that.
That. Should we roll for
That was
Toshi?
really fun. Yes.
I didn't think
Let's
he's
do it.
sitting right here. Tosh, what are you like, buddy? Should I roll for him real quick, or is that annoying?
Yes. No, do it.
Let's see. How do I start this? Should I share my screen again, or just do it real quick? What do you think?
You can do it.
Let's see. Whoosh. He's down here sleeping next to me. He's having a very hard life. Let's see, where do you live? Ooh, he lives in the woods. He's a stray little running around in the woods cat.
Yeah.
Love that. My cousin used to have a cat that was like an outdoor cat and loved like laying in trees and stuff. What do you do, Tosh? He's also a scholar.
Oh, maybe that's who I go to meet.
Oh my god. He's like your man in the field.
Yeah.
Who's your familiar, Tosh? Another cat.
Aww. It's
Cats
red.
running around in the woods. Meeting scholars. Where's my D12? Let's see. His weapon is a frying pan.
Nice.
Strapped to his little cat back. That's so funny. Here, I'll show you, Tish.
There he is.
That's sweet.
Aww.
He's been really funny lately. It's very clingy.
Aww. Yeah, maybe he's trying to provide comfort.
Oh, he's kicking me now. He's like, get away. Alright.
Incredible. That was a lot of fun. I feel like we both did like different types of topics this time around, which was really fun.
Yeah, but I think it's also funny how much crossover there is too in like
Yeah,
creative exploration.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Where do you feel like we were today? What room?
I kind of imagine just like laying on opposite ends of the couch, like lounging and chatting.
Yes, that sounds great. Yeah.
Very low key. Maybe even on the floor having floor time.
Yes. Absolutely.
Sick.
Hell yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for joining us today. Do let us know. Please, I hope you've rolled along and let us know what characters you get and throw them into our world. What are you doing? Are you running about town? Do you have a frying pan? Let us know.
And let us know what you thought of Sarah's persona presentation, because I found it very insightful, and also like I feel like it put into words like something I feel as artists we feel, but like I didn't really know how to say, because like especially with acting, like it's like it feels so abstract to me sometimes. So I feel like that really put in a framework that I liked.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm still like trying to like cook on it. Like it's still something I'm trying to like fully formulate, but it's I feel like something's coming together there that makes sense in words.
I think you're onto something. I really like. I like this theory and idea. Theory. I like this thought. You have it.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Such a scholar. Okay. That's so funny. Whoa.
See, it's. I wish I'd presented it as an actual presentation, but I feel like the proof's there.
Oh, absolutely. No, it is. That was great. That was more of like an experimental. I liked it. That was so fun. Oh, what a vibe.
Thanks for being nice to me about it.
It was so fun.
This wasn't a topic, but it's all I could. It's what I had.
I think so. Yeah. There's a theme. I think it's a topic.
Oh, yeah. That's nice. That's very nice of you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. We will see you next week. Have a good week.
Bye.
Goodbye.